District 704 Rotarians, here's DG Claude. Only 6 days left before the 2015 District Conference in Watertown, New York. Did you register? Don't miss all the fun, the fellowship, the great speaker, and Watertown Rotary Club 100th anniversary. But before anything else, don't miss the changes and the new way of doing things at a district conference. It is a new era for Rotary and District 7040. It looks like a district conference, but with new twists and new angle. Are you sure you want to miss that? One new thing at our district conference is the end around Watertown on Saturday afternoon, which is replacing the usual Sunday polio walk. Participants asked to get sponsored like for a walk. But instead of walking, we'll do a human chain in the vast Hilton Garden Hill parking, which can receive up to 5,000 people. Get sponsored using the included form in attachment, and if you can't come to the conference, give it to someone who's coming from your club, or contact PDG Bonnie Black, who's in charge. All the money are going to the Rotary Foundation. And to conclude, find a video on Paul Amran, the marketing expert we've called on to give our Rotary Club help on how to get a better awareness in the community and how to use marketing tools with a minimum cost. Club president, public email chair, you don't want to miss that. There is still time to register. So now, let's Paul Amran tell what he does.
Hi, I'm Alex Baird here with Zocalo Group, and I'm here with Paul Amran, President and CEO of Zocalo. We have the leadership series going on today, Paul. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
I sure can. You know, for the last couple of years, we've brought in some leading industry figures and speakers to come in and talk to our clients, our friends, and even those inside Zocalo Group to understand what are some best practices across some of the leading topics and industries that are out there. They're doing some really breakthrough things when it comes to social media, when it comes to digital marketing. And the one we're having today, it's interesting. It got the largest turnout of anyone that we've had so far, and it's all about storytelling. And so you really can't shake a marketing magazine or a trade publication these days without seeing stories talking about the importance of that and how it relates to branding. And having some real experts come in is a real treat for all of us.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about the role of storytelling in marketing?
I can. You know, we kind of come at it at Zocalo Group from the foundational idea that all marketing ought to be creating dialogue and ought to be leading to a recommendation. But this very simple thing of if we don't know how we want people to talk about us, they'll probably do it an entirely different way. So getting a story down that brings it to life and brings some elements behind it, of course, is really important. But one of the things we also share that is in this world of engaged in social media, we talk about following the 90-10 rule, and that is 90% ought to be something that is not related to the brand, but is a story about the brand and things around it, and that 10% can be really good brand content. So figuring out your story, what engages people, what gets them to pay attention, both on a short-term and a long-term basis, and it's really becoming the crux of content marketing. You don't just put information out, it has to be going on for a purpose.
Paul, you have this new book, highly recommended. It's all about harnessing word of mouth and social media to make brands recommended. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can. The book just came out from McGraw-Hill a couple of months ago. Unfortunately, it seems to be getting some really good traction. But the story importance of that is at the crux of this book, which is how when we know that more than 90% of all consumers say that the reason they buy a product or a service is because someone told them a story about it. They recommended it. And this whole book is all about this idea of how do you make your brand the most recommended brand in its category. And of course, at the center of that, again, is stories. So we've had some great response, and people kind of tying in elements from the book and sharing new and different ways of the way that we're learning. We're only beginning, I think, to start getting into this trend of everybody talking about content marketing. It is today's happening buzzword, and stories are at the beginning of it. But what it really just comes down to is brand figuring out how do they want to be talked about, how do they want to be shared. That's where the stories really start making an impact.